Thank you all for coming. Obviously, the turnout here is kind of speaks volumes by itself. We've got an announcement this morning that obviously has struck a nerve in rural America, which is, despite Newsweek magazine claiming the recession is over, clearly rural America is not ready to put up the balloons and start celebrating, and in particular dairy farmers and the dairy sector of America's economy is at a point where even to describe it as a recession is an understatement. There's a crisis that's going on with dairy. This morning's event is to announce the reformation of the Dairy Caucus. This is a caucus that disbanded after passage of the Farm Bill, thinking pretty understandably that the need for regular bipartisan effort was really done for 2 or 3 years, and the Farm Bill, obviously, which made a lot of good steps in terms of extending the milk subsidy program, modifying the formula to put input costs for the first time as part of the formula, that their work was done, but clearly we have seen since passage a collapse of the price for dairy. Again, the stubborn increase in dairy costs that has created a yawning gap between costs and price that is driving dairy farms out of business at an alarming rate. And as every member standing up here can attest, when that happens, it's a permanent change. When these farms go out, they don't come back. So again, we've got a lot of folks here who want to wade in and talk about what's going on in their district. What I would just briefly state is that since the 111th Congress is formed, a number of people here on an ad hoc basis have sent letters to the Secretary of Agriculture calling on Secretary Vilsack to purchase excess dairy products, which he did respond favorably to. There have been other letters to the department. There have been legislative efforts in terms of trying to get an emergency modification of the milk subsidy program, which is gathering more and more support from members of Congress. And what I hope, and I think you'll hear today, is that the bipartisan support on the Dairy Caucus will, in an organized fashion, continue these efforts within the agency and within the Congress to provide relief for people out there that are struggling against terrible odds in terms of trying to keep their farms open. From the state of Connecticut, where I come from, eastern Connecticut is home of many farms, dairy farms, along with Rosa DeLauro that's here. We're not known necessarily for dairy, but we have visited the farms in our state, and we know, again, the crisis that all these members can echo is happening from the Northeast to California. And the nice thing about this caucus is, aside from the fact that it is bipartisan, it is also cross-regional. There is not the sort of infighting that goes on between small farms, big farms, eastern farms, western farms. I mean, everybody understands that this is a crisis that we're all in together. And again, the list of people that are here today attest to that fact. What I want to do now is ask our co-chairman, Peter Welch from the state of Vermont, who has been at the forefront of a lot of these administrative and congressional efforts to wade in. So thanks, Peter.
Thank you very much, Joe. We're all here united, Republicans and Democrats, because we believe in local agriculture. We believe that our farmers are the best among us in our regions and in our states, and we recognize that the crisis in dairy has to be addressed, or we're not going to have dairy come the fall and next year. We've lost over 250 farms in Vermont, and they're continuing to decline, and it's inevitable unless we get the price that those folks who are working hard every day to at least pay what it is that it costs them to produce. We've got a farmer in Franklin County who says, Peter, we're used to working for nothing, but not less than nothing. And the basic question that this Congress has to address is very simple. If we bail out the bankers because they're too big to fail, are we going to ignore the farmers because they're too small to matter? This Dairy Caucus believes the answer to that is no. We're united in our commitment to help those farmers be successful. The situation they face, unlike the bankers, is not as a result of anything they did, not their reckless conduct. They're working hard every single day, and it's forces completely beyond their control that require a public policy response. And we, Republicans and Democrats, are here committed to providing that. So I'm proud to join with my colleagues in the effort to help folks who are working hard to help themselves with public policies that appreciate the work that they do that's so important to our regions and to America. Thank you.